Hey guys, it's me, Johnny Crimps 2000, here for part 2 of my Gorin High playthrough. In the last part, we were facing off against Edge as Roberto, and I got whooped. So now this is kind of like the deal breaker. Make it or break it time for me here. And as I haven't mentioned it before, but at this point in the game, or at least at this point in the story mode, we don't exactly know why the students of Ghetto High are attacking people. We saw the same thing happening in at the beginning of Taiyo High School, where Daigo was attacked us at the very beginning of the story, and at this point they're attacking the students of Gorin High. And we won't find out why that is until we play the Ghetto High School team. We play their storyline, but I at least wanted to talk about, I guess, their gimmick. The gimmick of Ghetto High, as you know, since every high school kind of has a gimmick, their whole thing is that they're like a bunch of thugs, gangsters, and stuff like that. So it kind of, you know, one of the reasons why Edge and Gon really aren't questioning why they're going around beating people up, but whatever. We'll find out why that is later. So they had a quarrel and parted. I see. Shoma's an idiot to be attracted to that little girl. I bet she's just using him. Well then, we should go to Taiyo High. If we see Batsu and his friends, maybe we'll find some clue. That sounds like a good idea. Hey Natsu, where are you going? You shouldn't act alone. Well, I see you're having a hard time with her. Oh, Nagare, put some pants on. Here we go, episode 4, we go to Ziggy Amusement Park. Hey, look, over there, it's Batsu and that girl Momo. I'm telling you not to sniff around like that, you're causing me a lot of trouble. I don't want to be scolded by our boss, I hate that, so stop sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong. That's not the answer I'm looking for, what are you up to? Tell me! Here you are, I've been looking for you. Where's Shoma? Tell me. No, how come you're here? You know, guys don't find jealousy very attractive. I see, this is more complicated than I thought. Alright, since the whole cast is here, why don't I take on all of you at once? Everybody, be on guard. And now we're facing off against Momo and Eureka. And if you didn't notice this, or if you haven't noticed, if you haven't watched my Taiyo High playthrough, at this point in the story, this is basically the same one as it was in the Taiyo High playthrough that I did before. The only difference being that this time we faced them with the students from Gorin High instead of the Taiyo High School students. Otherwise, it would have been just the same thing. And so yeah, like I said, the story mode in this game is pretty unique in that each one, like all the different students, all the different teams, I guess, are interconnected with one another. But you won't get to see what their full involvement is unless you play through the whole story mode with each one of them, and you play through all the different little scenarios and side quests and stuff like that, or rather not side quests, but the side stories. And I thought that was pretty cool because in this part, we've been here before. You know, we faced off against Momo and Eureka before when I did the Taiyo High story mode. But this time, we're playing as Gorin High, and there, you know, you finally get to see why in the Taiyo High playthrough, why they were even there to begin with. You know, yeah, we find out that they're looking for Shoma, but we didn't know why they were looking for Shoma. And now we know. You know, basically Momo and Shoma ran off, and now all of a sudden we find Momo again, but Shoma's nowhere to be found. Or Shoma is nowhere to be found. And of course now Natsu is beating up Eureka, trying to get her man back. You go, girl. Try to get her man back. And yeah, there's really not much to say here. It's the same match, just different characters. And I always kind of found it to be the same thing as if you guys have played the Sonic Adventure game, the first one for the Dreamcast, and I guess Sonic Adventure DX for the GameCube. It's sort of the same thing. Each character in that game also had, you know, they are all doing the same story, but each one, you know, you get to see little bits and little differences here and there because you get to see the story mode from their perspective. And this is pretty much the same thing here. And I love this party up technique just because of how ridiculous it is. Look at this. They became a wheel. A wheel of power and destruction. That's right, Natsu. Fighting for her man. I wanted to defeat all of you, but if I do that, Kuro will scold me. Kuro? Well, let's call it a day, shall we? See you all soon. Ciao. Hey, wait. Tell me where Shoma is. Wait, Natsu. Batsu, I have one question for you. Have you ever attacked that girl? Wait. Batsu attacked that little girl? Hey, is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Why would I be such a bully? Okay then. Who was the Batsu that you met? I don't care who it was. We must chase her now or we won't see her again. And now we're going on to episode 5, but before we do that, I wanted to go back to the episode 2 where our team first started to disintegrate because as I mentioned before, your story, the story that you get to see, the dialogues and stuff like that you get to see in Gorin High is dependent on which team you pick at this point in the game. So obviously before we picked Natsu and Roberto, so we got to see their side of the story. But this time I wanted to go back and pick Shoma and Momo instead, so you guys can see what what they experienced, since we weren't able to see what happened to Shoma because he wasn't there. Because I want to show you guys everything that this game has to offer after all, and this wouldn't be a complete Let's Play unless I did this. So now I am playing as Shoma and Momo, and before you guys know what Shoma's deal is, but I do have to mention right now is that Natsu is, I don't know why, her and Edge are two of the characters that I have the most trouble with. I don't know why, but she's quick, and that one move that I've mentioned before, the one where she rolls on the ground and she does a serve, that one is so hard to dodge, I find, sometimes, because you figure that since you're in the air, like you jump up, that she won't be able to catch you, but she still does. Like, she flings her arms up so high that even if you jump up, sometimes she'll still get you. And of course, when she does get you, you get flinged up to the air, and she almost always follows it up with a combination, and sometimes she follows up that combination with a super. So yeah. And one thing I have to mention about this level is, what kind of high school is this? They have an entire coliseum, an entire stadium, and where the floor comes out. I mean, come on, there's a huge hole there. Everything is, never mind. We're talking about Japan here. This is like the precursor to like the Tokyo or the city, can't remember what the name is, from Evangelion. I love that anime, by the way. See, my high school never had anything this fancy. We had trouble having a football team that didn't suck. I mean, for God's sakes, we celebrated once because we scored. Not because we won, but because we scored. No high school. Anyway, now I'm getting to pick Momo, so getting to show her off. And I haven't done so before, so I'm going to get to read her bio from the instruction manual as well, too, since she's technically a part of Gorin High, too. So anyway, Momo tags along with Shoma. Though she is backing Kuro's evil plan, it's only because it seems like fun to her and she likes Kuro. And I always found that kind of interesting, that in the instruction manual they kind of just blatantly tell you that she is backing Kuro's evil plan, like completely giving off the or giving away the story. Like, Capcom, you could have at least put like a little spoiler warning or something. Or something a little bit more subtle. But whatever. And again, Momo is from Gorin High, so she has a sports team too. I mean, you've seen her before. We've faced off against her countless times. I don't really need to explain what she does, do I? She's a tennis player with a tennis racket, and she whacks you with it. Look, there's no point in continue. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not even going to read this. This is the same thing. Yeah, so I was gonna read this, but I just figured, you know what? This is the exact same thing that happened before with Natsu and Roberto. You get some subtle differences in the dialogue, but, you know, it's all the same. Shoma and Natsu get into an argument. You know, one of them runs off, and now they, you know, they even have this same pose right here where they're looking off kind of pensively and, you know, kind of thinking about each other. So here we go, episode 3. We have to find out why Batsu was chasing you. Thank you, you're so kind. Don't mention it. Hey, don't stay so close to me. Let's head to Taiyo High. There they are. Hey, you two. Is Batsu with you? Shoma, what do you want with Batsu? That Batsu person has been stalking me. And finally he chased me and tried to attack me. I was so scared. I said not to stay so close to me. Anyway, that's why we're looking for Batsu. Where is he now? That's what I want to know. But you know Batsu would never do such things. It must be some kind of mistake. Besides, are you sure it was Batsu that's been chasing you? Okay, I understand. You won't believe me no matter what I say. That's alright. Hey, don't cling to me. I swear that's like half Shoma's dialogue in this part. Wait, you guys aren't trying to cover Batsu, are you? Hey, you should be ashamed of yourself for suspecting your own friend. Chairperson, why are you here? Let's go for the Thai Pacific Athletic Competition, and then suspicions happening in Ghetto High. This is the time for us to come together and cooperate with each other, not break apart. Shame on you. Anyway guys, I will see you in part 3, where we tackle Hinata, Kyosuke, and Chairperson. See you then.